Hey guys, so today was maintenance day after running the cars this weekend, and I just wanted to give you guys a better look at the 32 pitch gearing mod and the slipper clutch setup that I put in the car so I could be able to run more gearing options than what the car comes factory with. So as you can see here, there's a cup in the front and a cup in the back. So the drive shaft isn't one piece that goes all the way through like the car comes with. And really all it took was a 32 pitch spur gear for a TRX4. They make a 39 tooth spur gear that is Traxxas part number 8052. I did have to drill the gear out to 5 millimeter, which is not very much from the size it is now. And it goes right on there in place of the factory WL Toys gear that the slipper clutch comes with. The slipper clutch setup that I got was the Amaral one that you could get off Amazon, only because I got it a little bit faster than ordering it through AliExpress, and it said it was for a 1/12 scale car. So I just took the chance that it would fit, and it actually did. I didn't have to change any of the diff gears or anything like that to get it to fit in there. And it gives me all the options I want gearing wise and stuff. The only other thing that I really didn't do much with it this weekend except run it. I played with timing a little bit. Uh, it it seems to run really well with the timing on the ESC advanced to 7 degrees, and I'm getting a little bit higher speed out of it, and temperatures are still staying low. I could probably go up a little bit more in the timing. I just wanted to see what the car was actually capable of before going to a 540 size motor in it. And at this point in time, I actually think I have another Surpass Hobbies censored motor that's 540 size, but I'm probably going to hold off and put it in a different build other than this one. Only because this one runs so well and consistent the way it's set up now. Um, I the only other couple things I had to do was I had to add adjustable motor mount, which a lot of you guys would want to do on this car anyway if you want to have gearing options, even with the factory gearing. If you stick with the factory gear, I know it's a .7 mod gear that the car comes with, and it's really uncommon, so you don't have a lot of gearing options. So I can run this one from all the way down to like a 15 tooth pinion, and like it says right now it's on a 20. I don't know if I'm going to go up. I probably got enough space with this 380 motor to get up to 22 or 23, but I just don't know if I want to do that yet. Um, and other than that, the car's been running great. I mean, it's efficient. It's a little bit lighter because I'm not running that bigger motor in it. And I didn't have to grind out. Like, I know a lot of the guys that run the Mod 1 on this, one of the big things that you have to do is right here where this spacer fits in there, is you have to hollow that area out to get the gear to fit. And then you lose the capability of being able to keep your flex out of your drive shaft here. If you don't have this piece in here to for that drive shaft bearing in there, this thing wobbles all over the place. And even with a one piece drive shaft, you can bet over time you're going to bend that drive shaft because of that flex in there. This was designed for a reason, to have this sit in there, and then when you put the top plate on it, like this, when you put the rear top plate on, whether you use the factor, I mean, I'm using a 3-piece aftermarket plate in here, and the only reason why I'm doing that is so I can take the back off to do gearing changes if I want to, without having to take the whole car apart to do that. But you can see, like, even if I just put my finger on this without putting the screws in it, if you try to pick up on this drive shaft, it's locked in place. But if you have a bunch of play in here, that drive shaft is able to flex around in there because there's nothing holding it, and you're going to bend it. So I know a lot of these guys, I mean, drive shafts are cheap, so I guess if you're willing to want to change them out all the time, in order to change them out, you got to take both diff cases off and pull the drive shaft out and all that. So to me, it was just better to go this route. And then again, I guess I'll go over the few other things that I did, because you guys can probably tell by looking at it that the electronics are nothing what it was factory. I'm running a Radio Link RC4GS V3 transmitter in it. Number one, the biggest reason why I went to that was because of range. And it just gives you options to tune the car better from the transmitter, because you've got EPA adjustments if you need to do that. You got a ton more options than what the factory WL Toys transmitter gives you. It's got a quick run, Hobbywing quick run 10 BL120 in it, and it's a 2.3S, because I like to be able to run it on 3S if I'm doing speed passes with it. When it's at the track, I only run it on 2S. It's just 2S is enough for the car on a track. So, and other than that, it's still got the factory servo. The servo hasn't given me any issues, so I haven't had any reason to change it out yet. The diffs are all factory, except that I took them apart and added Losi 500,000 diff grease to them, just to stiffen them up just a little bit, and it seems to run much better. The car, I'll put some footage at the end of this video to show you that the car just, like the way it's set up now, it just tracks and runs straight. I don't have to do a bunch of trimming on it between 2S and 3S. So it's just, think I'm gonna leave it here where it's at and just enjoy the car now and run it, because now I've got, like I says, I've got gearing options if I want to. When I go to the track, if it's a small track, I can gear it down to a 17 and 18. It runs cooler than it does with the 20 on it, and I don't have to worry about it. I can probably go up a couple more teeth on it, and I might try that in the near future just to see if the speed runs pick up a little bit. But I'm assuming that probably 23 tooth is going to be about max for it. So hopefully you guys saw what was going on here and how easy it was to do this mod. And maybe some of you guys will try it. I just wanted to have the option to be able to go more than, I think the mod 7 gearing right now, I think you really only have a choice between 15, 17, 19 and a 27. So I wanted more options than that, because a lot of times you really only go up one tooth or two tooth at a time. Going from 19 to 27 is a big jump, and that's the difference between the WL Toys cars coming with the V2s come with a 19 tooth pinion on the brushless setup, but the V1s I think still came with that 27 tooth. So it's a pretty big jump. But the factory motor mounts don't give you any adjustment at all. So the motor mount itself is probably the best investment you can make to be able to make adjustments. I have an adjustable motor mount also that will fit to a 540. I just don't know if I want to put the drivetrain under that much stress, because the car came with a 380 size, and I'm sure they did that for a reason, but maybe not. So I think I'm gonna save that 540 for a different car. Probably my next speed run build, that I'll get something that will actually take a 540 and just keep running this one like it is. If you guys have any questions about it, just add them in the comments below. Money's been a little bit tight for hobby stuff lately, so I'm doing some stuff to try to get a couple of new cars, and then hopefully there'll be another build and a whole nother learning experience with a different car. I was gonna purchase a the 3S Vendetta when they had it on sale for $199, but I decided not to, mainly because number one, I couldn't get one. They sold out so quick in my area that I was never able to even think about getting one. But then the other side of that too is that I know that Horizon, from the local hobby shop here in town, the guy told me that the Vendetta's been discontinued. So I don't want to buy a car that's been discontinued, that at some point parts are going to run out on, and I'm not going to be able to fix it if it gets crashed. Because with these when you're doing speed runs, the potential's there for you to bang the car up. That's why I haven't gone to like I know a lot of guys do the aluminum upgrades on them and do the arms in the front and the back and all that stuff. The reason why I haven't done that is because if I break one of these front arms or the rear arm or whatever, I can get them dirt cheap in plastic, and I've got a bunch of them now, as a matter of fact, just as extras to have around in case I need to replace one. The aluminum ones, if you bend those, you end up having to replace the whole arm because you can't really straighten them back out. So that's just why I haven't done that. I've upgraded aluminum on only on the parts that I've kind of needed to for strength. I did do the steering blocks. I haven't done any other aluminum on the front. I don't know. I might do the hub carriers at some point, but only if it comes down to where I break these and it's needed. I haven't gotten to that point. The and really the only other option, the other part that I put on it that was aluminum, that really wasn't something that I had to do, was the rear wing mount. But this one just seems a little bit more rigid than the plastic pieces on there. The wing mount was vibrating around a little bit, and so I decided to change it. If you really want to know, also another upgrade to do that probably the best one you can do is going to the aluminum hexes on the front and the rear, because you can lock the wheels down on it versus the plastic ones, and everything just stays true and it doesn't bind or anything like that. If you do the aluminum hexes, get the WL Toys ones because they'll fit correctly from the beginning. I ordered the set mainly because I also wanted to get rid of the dog bones in the back. So now I'm running CVDs on the front and the back. And then the hub hexes, it was a plus that I got 4 of them, because if you order the 90% of the ones that are on Amazon, they're too big to fit, and you got to figure out a way how to make up the play or whatever in them. So I ordered a couple of sets and ended up returning a couple because they didn't fit properly, and then I got stuck with a couple that I've actually used on a couple of other cars that I have. So it worked out, but odds are you're not going to find just a set of hubs. And the reason why is because the axles on the WL Toys cars are smaller. They're 4mm, and most other brand RC cars, they're 5mm shafts on there. So other than that, though, the car's been running awesome. And like I said, this is just a routine maintenance breakdown on the car. And I figured since I had it opened up, I would try to give you guys a better view of what was going on in here. Because I know I've done a couple of other videos on talking about the 32 pitch gearing mod and stuff that I did on it, but you haven't really been able to see it very well. So I'm gonna finish putting the car back together and get it ready for the next time out, and hopefully this helps some of you guys out. So if you have any questions, just comment below, and I'll help you with the parts, part numbers, stuff like that. There is a video that I did prior to this that has all the part numbers and where I got the parts at, and the links and stuff to that stuff down below. So anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. And so stay safe and keep running cars. Like I says, I'm working on getting a couple of more to put together and hopefully do some testing with. So we will talk to you guys next time.